Let's explore Sustainable Development Goal 12, SDG 12, also known as Responsible Consumption and Production. SDG 12 is a commitment to ensure sustainable consumption and production patterns. Sustainability is the key element of this objective. Although the main problem SDG 12 tackles are unsustainable consumption and unsustainable production, there are a series of different issues within consumption and production. These are land degradation, declining soil fertility, unsustainable water use, overfishing, marine environment degradation, and the contribution to greenhouse gas emissions. Our health and the lives of future generations depend on the redesigning of both our production and consumption systems and patterns. So let's take a look how these difficulties are managed. There are 11 targets within SDG 12 that help to meet the aim of the goal. Target 1. Implement the 10-year framework of programs and sustainable consumption and production. Since there may be some difficulties for developing countries to do this, developed countries are to take authority with this target. This is done by introducing policies and a series of measures that will ensure sustainable consumption and production. Target 2. By 2030, achieve the sustainable management and efficient use of natural resources. Domestic material consumption (DMC) and material footprint (MF) cover the two aspects of the economy: production and consumption. DMC reports the amount of materials that are directly used within a national economy. This includes materials extracted in the country, plus those directly imported through trade of goods and services, minus those directly exported to other countries. MF provides an additional perspective by taking into account materials required across the whole global supply chain to produce a good and service and attributing them to the final demand. Target 3. Another 2030 target is to halve per capita global food waste at the retail and consumer level and reduce food losses along production and supply chains, including post-harvest losses. Reducing food loss and waste is critical to reduce production costs and increase the efficiency of the food systems, improve food security and nutrition, and contribute towards environmental sustainability. Target 4. Achieve the environmentally sound management of chemicals and all wastes throughout their life cycle. Under international multilateral environmental agreements and relevant conventions obligations, countries are requested to regularly report data and information related to hazardous wastes, persistent organic pollutants, and ozone-depleting substances. Target 5. By 2030, substantially reduce waste generation through prevention, reduction, recycling, and reuse. Minimizing waste generation and maximizing the recycling of waste is central to the concept of circular economy. However, currently, the total amount of produced materials that are recycled, including e-waste, are estimated to be low. If countries are better to understand how waste is generated, collected, and recycled, then this will guide countries and other stakeholders to identify ways to address key waste streams, such as metals, e-waste, or plastics. Target 6. Encourage companies, especially large and transnational companies, to adopt sustainable practices and to integrate sustainability information into their reporting cycle. Target 7. Promoting sustainable public procurement practices. Public procurement practices wields enormous purchasing power. It represents an average of 12% of GDP in OECD countries and 14.5% in low-income countries, and offers a valuable opportunity to gear public expenditures towards green growth and contribute to the achievement of sustainability goals. Target 8. by 2030, ensure that people everywhere have the relevant information and awareness for sustainable development and lifestyles in harmony with nature. Without access to relevant information, knowledge, and the skills necessary to act, individuals will not be able to adopt their behaviors in ways that are necessary to ensure that their lifestyles promote sustainable development and environmental protection. One means by which this can be achieved is through education. Target 9. Support developing countries to strengthen their scientific and technological capacity to move towards more sustainable patterns of consumption and production. Target 10. Develop and implement tools to monitor sustainable development impacts for sustainable tourism that creates jobs and promotes local culture and products. Target 11. Remove market distortion that encourage wasteful consumption. The 2030 Agenda outlines bold, transformative steps to shift the world onto a sustainable and resilient path. Inefficient fossil fuel subsidies undermine the ability of governments to achieve key goals such as reducing poverty, improving health, reaching gender equality, providing access to energy, and addressing climate change. While fossil fuel subsidies are sometimes advocated as poverty-fighting measures, they often disproportionately benefit wealthier segments of the population. Reallocating fossil fuel subsidies effectively to other development strategies and social supports can help governments reach the SDGs. To summarize, the core objective of SDG 12 is to do more and better with less, increasing net well-being gains from economic activities by reducing resource use, degradation, and pollution along the whole life cycle while increasing the quality of life. SDG 12 calls for a comprehensive set of actions from business, policymakers, and consumers to adapt to sustainable practices. It envisions sustainable production and consumption based on advanced technological capacity, resource efficiency, and reduced global waste.